Hey there guys, this is Sam.
And Justin.
At the Survival Review. And today we are going to be talking about episode 13 of The Return to Twin Peaks.
Definitely a return to form after the last episode being a little lackluster.
Yeah, and not to say the last episode was terrible.
No.
It just kind of left a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah.
This episode was overall very good. Very
Yes.
enjoyable. It still has a little bit, tiny little speck of what we disliked in the last episode, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely overall a much better episode.
Oh yeah. Because this episode begins, the opening scene of this episode is just hilarious.
Yeah.
And great. Basically it takes place in the office of the insurance building where Dougie works.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you just see a conga line led by the Mitchum brothers and Dougie and the girls.
They're dancing and this bizarre music is playing. You don't even know where the music is coming from.
No.
It's just so strange. So the Tom Sizemore character in the office is looking out. He's like, oh shit, Dougie's still alive.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He goes and hides under his desk at one point.
Yeah, he's just like so obviously a coward.
Yeah, and he calls up the guy from Las Vegas, from that office building in Las Vegas, like telling him like, I don't know what happened, if I'm wrong. And he's like, well, now this is screwed up, you're gonna have to kill him like today.
Yeah, you have one day to do it.
It's really fun seeing Tom Sizemore play like a cowardly character.
Yeah.
He doesn't normally do that. He just plays like the crazy guys. This one he's just a complete coward, which we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
The Mitchum brothers, they go into the boss's office and like give him all these gifts, like a new car and all that stuff. And everything's all happy, everything's all great.
Yes.
Dougie's has no idea what's going on.
Dougie's just like, it's great.
He's just being dragged along in the conga line.
Yeah, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And then back at Dougie's house, Janie, she comes to the door and there are these guys with a truck and they're like, what do you want it, lady? And she's like, what are you talking about? What, the new gym set for Sonny Jim, provided by the Mitchum brothers. And she's like, oh my god. And she sees the new car in the driveway and she's just like, oh my goodness. And they proceed to put up the strangest, most over-the-top gym set for a kid.
It's so bizarre.
It's got a big arch and everything has like lights that are flashing on it, and there's a spotlight and a little mini trampoline, and he's just going crazy.
Oh, the kid's just loving it.
He's just going nuts like any kid would, but like it's so strange looking.
It's not your typical like jungle gym. It's just, I don't know what it is.
I would describe it as the most like David Lynchy jungle gym I've ever seen.
If David Lynch designed a jungle gym,
this would be it.
Yes. And you see Janie's just very happy with Dougie. It's a very touching scene, actually, just them standing at the window watching Sonny Jim jump around the playground.
Because she was also worried about him because he didn't come home the night before, and she thought he was killed or something, and it was just, she was very happy to see him, and it was a great surprise.
Yeah, and there's even like a nice moment later on where she's dropping him off at work, and she's just like getting the door for him and letting him out, and just big smiles on her face.
Yeah, she's in love with him.
Yes.
Which is kind of sad.
It is, yeah.
He's not actually Dougie.
And soon enough, Cooper will come back, obviously, and
Probably,
and there'll be no more Dougie. So.
Yeah.
But for now, things are good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So continuing with the Tom Sizemore character, he goes to the police station, and before we get to him, in the police station you see those three detectives, and they get information on the fingerprints that they took of Dougie.
Yes, which they find out, they're like, it appears that he escaped from a maximum security prison a week ago.
Also a missing FBI agent.
Yeah. Rather than be like totally shocked by this, they're just kind of stupid. They're like,
What?
What?
No.
Whoa, that's stupid.
So they just like crumble it up and throw it away and just forget about it.
Yeah, which is like, what? Okay.
Yeah. But Tom Sizemore goes there and talks to the police chief there, and apparently the police chief is in on this whole corruption thing. They're all part of it. And he wants to get poison to poison Dougie.
Yes.
And the police chief is just like, you're a pussy. You can't do this. But okay, here's some stuff. It's going to cost you $1,000, but here you go. He leaves. This other detective who's hanging out there goes, what's going on? He goes, oh, he has to go poison the guy.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's weird, but now we know that the cops are in on it.
Yeah, it's this big corruption thing.
Everybody is, and Tom Sizemore even at one point says the cops are even worse than the other people, so it's just a big mess. Because
Tom Sizemore waits for Dougie at his work, and the best part is Dougie walking into the door.
Yeah, he bumps into the door like an idiot.
And just stands there.
It's a stupid sort of slapsticky moment, but it's funny.
It works. And so like Tom Sizemore walks up and goes, hey, we'll go get you some coffee. And of course...
And Dougie's, of course, like, coffee?
So he goes gives him the coffee, and they're sitting on the table, just sitting there, and Dougie gets distracted by cherry pie.
Yeah, Dougie's just like, he beelines it straight to the glass thing where the cherry pie is. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't ask for it, he just stares at it through the glass like he would.
Yeah. And while that happens, Tom Sizemore puts the poison in Dougie's coffee and says everything back.
And immediately guilt starts setting in, because when Dougie comes back and he starts like, he sees like some powder on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he starts like giving him a weird sort of massage.
It's really bizarre.
It's strange. But Tom Sizemore just starts crying. He's like, I can't do this. And he runs into the bathroom and dumps it into the toilet.
Yeah, and then he goes to the boss and he just starts apologizing like, oh my god, I can't believe I almost killed him.
I feel so guilty. I just want to make things right.
He's like, I've been involved in all this stuff for all these months. And the boss is like, yeah, I know, Dougie told me about it.
Yeah.
And so he knows about it. He's like, well, instead of putting you away for all these years, will you testify against the person who's behind all of this? And of course, Tom Sawyer's like, oh yeah, I will.
Of course.
That's all kind of coming together, and I like that.
I think he's breaking more and more and more as he realizes what he's gotten himself into. And it's kind of fun to watch him just tear himself apart like that.
So after that great opening with the conga line and the crazy looking gym, we get Doppelcooper.
Yes.
And this is like the most craziest way to start an episode for like a Twin Peaks episode, aside from episode 8.
Of course.
Yeah. Where you see Doppelcooper in Montana, and he approaches this kind of base area where all the people are. And the guy who shot him is there.
He's like, yeah, I killed that guy. And I'm like, oh, shit. Well, he's coming up. Doppelcooper comes up, and he's just like, I want to talk to my buddy Ray here. And Ray has this big boss guy next to him. He's just this big dude who would be intimidating if he didn't have like a baby face.
Yeah,
but that's a whole other thing. He's still, kind of intimidating looking. Mm-hmm. And,
compared to like Doppelcooper, which is like a scrawny guy,
Yeah, he's Cooper.
Yeah.
Doppelcooper has the intimidation factor in a different way because he's just so serious. He does not back down. You can't intimidate him.
No.
And it's frightening. But he goes in there, and they're like, you've got to arm wrestle your way to get answers around here.
Like, if you win the arm wrestle, you are in charge of this place.
Yeah. If you don't, then you become, like, a worker for this boss guy, and nobody's ever beat him.
You get this really serious scene that all revolves around arm wrestling.
Yeah. I literally, at one point, I'm like, did this just turn into Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone? And it really is a literally over the top scene. It becomes
but everybody takes it so seriously.
So serious, and as you would kind of expect, Doppelcooper is stronger than he looks.
Yeah, and it's a really cool scene where the guy's winning, of course, but then Doppelcooper is just not flinching, just moves back up to the middle. Goes back to starting position, and it's just like, it's very uncomfortable when you had me all the way down here. This is a lot nicer.
Just playing around with the guy.
Yeah.
And then when he's finally had enough of it, he slams his arm down, breaks his wrist, punches him in the face so hard that his skull collapses.
Yeah, it kills him.
It's the most ridiculous thing, and I loved it. It's really silly, but I don't know. It was a cool scene.
It was great. And then he starts talking to Ray, who ends up just shooting in the leg.
Yes.
And it's just them two in the room by themselves.
Because everybody else scooted out of there.
Except for the one guy in the suit.
Yeah, the one guy who's strangely in a suit and is like, you need any money?
Yeah.
And then he gets out of there and he says no.
This is where stuff gets interesting.
Yeah, you start to get some information.
Yes.
Ray explains that the guy who hired him to kill Doppelcooper is Philip Jeffries.
Yes.
And so Philip Jeffries told him, kill him and then put this ring on his finger.
But it's the ring from Fire Walk With Me, which is crazy. Where'd that come from? Last time we saw that, like, Dougie had it, and then it appeared in the Black Lodge, but now he has it.
It's traveling all over the place.
Yeah.
So Doppelcooper asks him for some information. He's like, I need the coordinates that you got, and I want to know where Philip Jeffries is. And he's like, I don't know where Philip Jeffries is. Here's the coordinates. They're in my pocket.
But he tells him this place, I forgot what it was exactly, but he says, like, I looked it up, it doesn't exist, I don't know where it is.
And then before he can even finish the sentence, boom, gets shot in the face. And he's like, I know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's great.
That's like the opening of this episode, and that was, like, insane.
And he also walks up to the body, he looks at the ring, and the ring disappears. And it reappears in the Black Lodge.
Along with Ray as well.
Yes.
And you see a hand put it back on the table. So it's back there again.
It's back there again. It's just traveling about.
I love that opening. That was like
really, really great opening to the episode.
I loved all the stuff with Philip Jeffries, like that things are coming together now. And I wonder what they're going to do with Philip Jeffries as the season progresses. As you can see, Doppelcooper is going after him. So I wonder what they're going to do with that, or how they're going to do that. I can't wait to see. Also, one thing that Doppelcooper also mentioned was, he's like, did Philip Jeffries mention Major Briggs?
Oh, yeah.
And Ray said, no, he didn't. So there's stuff with that as well. It's awesome. A lot of information, but really great.
We're getting a lot more than we were earlier on in the season.
Yeah, now the rest of this episode takes place in Twin Peaks. Mm-hmm. And I say if anybody just watched this episode without seeing the previous 12, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is typical Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what the old seasons were like.
Yeah, because there's a lot of classic characters in here, including some being reintroduced and stuff like that.
Like our favorite Big Ed.
Yes.
I was very happy to see Ed return.
Yeah, it just cuts to a scene in the diner and you see Bobby walk in, just going to get something to eat. And then he walks over to a table, and all of a sudden, just Ed and Norma are just sitting there, and we're just like, "There he is!" We've been saying since the first episode, "Where's Ed?" and everything.
It was great to see him, and he's just as good as ever.
Yeah, except he basically leaves that scene right away because Bobby sits down with them. They start eating and everything, and this guy walks in and walks over to Norma, and they greet each other. And our first reaction was
he's pulling a
having with Bobby and Shelley.
Yeah,
where they're not together. That's what we thought, because he walks up, they kiss each other.
But it was after we watched the scene, we sort of realized it was just a friendly hello kiss.
Yeah.
And he's actually just this businessman who's been franchising out the Double R Diner. He seems like kind of a sleazeball.
He is.
Because he's just look, we're just trying to do what's most profitable for the business.
Yeah, because there's 5 Double R Diners, where they're now called Norma's Double R Diner. Mm-hmm. So it's a big franchise now. Not a big franchise, but it is a franchise, which is really interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and one of the ones that is lacking in business is the original Double R Diner, because after they've done some research, they're like, you're spending too much money on the pies and not charging enough at this location. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I'm doing them how I've always done them. I'm not going to change that. And I've been getting complaints from the other stores that their pies just aren't as good as they are here. It's because they're using worse ingredients, basically. And of course, of all the conflicts there could be with these Double R Diners not doing well, it's the cherry pie. Yeah. It's next you're going to find out they're using crappier coffee grounds or something.
Yeah. But I just love how we got introduced to Big Ed, and we're like, there he is. And then he just immediately leaves, and it's just in the background while this whole scene plays out.
Yeah. Which is kind of unfortunate, but it's still good to see him.
Oh, yeah.
At least in contrast to when you first see Audrey in the last episode, he kind of plays into the scene for as little as he's in there.
We were talking about how the problem with Audrey in the last episode was that I just randomly cut and she was standing there in the middle of the shot.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, there's no real introduction for Ed. He's just there. But there was a whole scene to start off with Bobby walking in, then he walks over and we reveal him.
You get eased into it. Yeah. Whereas it's really jarring when you just cut to this character that we haven't seen in quite literally 25 years. Yeah. It's a little weird.
Yeah. Keeping in line with the Double R Diner, there's a scene where Shelley's there working and she gets a call from her daughter. And her daughter's like, oh, my husband, he hasn't been back in the past 2 days. I think something's wrong. And Shelley's like, everything's probably okay. We'll talk about this later. I got customers. But then get a nice touching moment where she's like, you know what? How about you come over here? I'll get you the best piece of cherry pie.
Ice cream, some whipped cream. And she's like, you know what? That sounds delicious, Mom. I'm going to head right over.
Yeah. That's all it was. A brief scene, but it was nice. It was nice.
A sweet scene.
Finally, something positive with the Becky character.
Yeah, something you get to see her smile.
Yeah.
Rather than weep and be terrified.
Or smile because she snorted cocaine. It's a genuine smile.
It's a genuine smile.
And adding on, finally getting stuff with Ed, we finally get more stuff with Nadine.
Yep.
Where you see her at her shop, which is just awesome. I still love that.
Yeah.
And Jacoby just happens to drive by, and he sees the shovel in the window.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my goodness, somebody actually bought this damn thing? And he walks up to the door, and he's like, hello? Nadine comes out, and they have a nice little conversation.
Yeah, an actual full conversation, not just one quick line with Nadine.
Yeah, she actually has a back and forth with somebody for the first time in the season. And it's nice.
It's nice.
They're happy to see each other, and Jacoby explains, the last time I saw you was like 7 years ago, and you were on your hands and knees searching for a potato at the supermarket. She's like, what the hell? It was weird, but it's a nice little scene.
We were waiting for him to say, last time I saw you, you thought you were a teenage girl.
And you had superhuman strength. But luckily, I think they're not going to pay any reference to that.
I don't think so, no.
So,
but the thing that does bring into question, is Ed with Norma now? Because Nadine seems like she's pretty much on her own, at least that's all we've seen her in. But then again, you get to the scene with him at the end, where he seems kind of alone.
Yeah, he's sitting alone in the gas station, and this is when the credits play.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's with her.
It's just a silent scene of just him just sitting at the gas station all by himself.
I have a feeling he's not with her.
No.
Because you also have the line that he says where he's like, oh, don't worry, Bobby, nothing's happening here.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get the idea that they're still friends, but they're separated.
Yeah.
So.
But that was a really depressing ending scene.
Oh, yeah. It's sad.
Like, we were so...
Big Ed again.
We were so happy to see Big Ed, and then all of a sudden he's just sitting there all alone.
Yeah. What
like,
can you do?
Yeah.
Good old Ed.
And then we get one random scene with Sarah Palmer, just sitting in her house watching an old boxing match.
Not only watching an old boxing match, watching an old boxing match that's repeating after every 15 seconds. Same thing.
Keep hearing this weird kind of noise, too.
Strange noises, and she's obviously, like, drinking.
Yeah. That's all her table is just drinks.
It's a weird scene.
Yeah, it's like...
That's what she's up to.
Yeah, no real payoff to her, nothing really moving forward, but... You still think there's something weird going on in the Palmer house.
Yes.
Just go with that. Something weird is happening.
Something happened.
Then we get to the scene that's our one real problem with the episode.
Yep. We go back to Audrey Horne.
Yes.
And her husband. And
it's just continuing off of the last scene where he still hasn't told her what, like, Tina has said. And she's still just like, what did she say?
Yeah, she's still just kind of... It's really just kind of hammering in what we got from last time, which wasn't much.
But then she starts acting like crazy, too. She's like, I don't know who I am anymore. And, like, she's like, how far away is the roadhouse?
And he says, if I didn't know any better, I think you're on drugs. And I'm sort of thinking... Maybe she is.
Yeah,
because she's really acting weird for her character.
And I don't know what it is. Like, the scene's not as bad as the scene from last episode. Not as long as that or as, like, annoying as that one. But, like, I don't know. The Audrey character right now is not really doing anything for me.
Yeah. I hope they kind of do more with her than what these scenes have been kind of leading to. Because right now, it's not doing much for me.
It just seems so random and just, like, I don't know. And, like, I don't know what's going on with her. I mean, of course, we'll probably see it play out more in the later episodes. It'll make more sense as it goes on.
And maybe we'll feel a bit differently about it once that happens.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm not so sure how I feel about it.
And then we get to the second to last scene at the Roadhouse, the scene that we think is going to be the last one.
Yes.
Because we think it's just going to be a musical number, it's going to end. So instead of just starting right off with a musical number, you see the announcer at the top and he goes like, introduce to you, James Hurley.
And we're like, oh shit. And he goes up there and after 2 notes, I know what song he's playing.
Yes.
It's that and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ!
It's the exact same song.
It's the song, and his voice hasn't changed even slightly.
No,
he's got that same bizarre voice. I don't hate the song.
No,
it's still a Badalamenti song. It's still got that Twin Peaksy vibe.
It's still weird, and
it's still weird, and it's much more appropriate that it's at the end of the episode rather than just in the middle randomly during some episode.
Yeah. And you see this one girl at a table, at a booth, watching on, and she starts crying a little bit, and so I think something's going on between them two, like they're together or something.
Yeah. Or she's just somebody that thinks he has a beautiful voice and is singing a beautiful song. That could be it, too.
True. I mean,
I don't know.
Shelley did also say that he is really cool in the first episode, so people have a lot of crazy
He's always
ideas.
been cool.
Yeah.
Because she said so.
So people have a lot of crazy notions about James Hurley, just saying. But we saw him.
Yeah, he had more than a 4-second appearance this time. I don't know whether to say that's a good or bad thing, but he's there, and he wasn't annoying or anything.
No, because he was just singing.
He was just singing.
He wasn't talking, so.
So
in this episode, we got to see a lot of like classic Twin Peaks stuff.
Yes.
Like the first half was all the new stuff. We finally get to see more of Doppel Cooper, who we've missing for the past few episodes. All that good stuff. But then the last half is just classic Twin Peaks stuff.
Yeah.
Like we basically see almost every main character, honestly, from the show.
Yeah, which is really nice. It's kind of it's a comfy episode.
Yeah.
Because you really kind of get back to those characters that you know and love, and seeing Big Ed is really nice.
Yeah, finally seeing him.
Finally. Only 13 episodes in.
Yeah, like he appeared in the first trailer for the show.
I know, which is crazy.
But there he is, and, still having a problem with the Audrey stuff.
A little bit, but it doesn't bother me nearly as much as it did last episode.
But we got to see more Ed, we got to see more James, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he's ever going to come into play in the show.
Who cares?
It doesn't... True, it is James. But
I could give a fuck if he ever appears again in the show.
That is true, but it just seems weird that he appeared randomly in the first episode and now he's here.
Yeah. And is that every character that we were kind of waiting for to be introduced? I think everybody has been introduced now.
I believe so, yeah.
Because Big Ed was the last one. Big Ed and Audrey were the last two.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's introduced now.
All the classic Twin Peaks characters that we know are going to appear in the show have finally appeared.
Yes. I mean, you still have people like Donna. She's not coming back.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Donna. But
and we don't care because I hate Donna. But I think that's everybody.
But so every officially announced cast member,
which is cool. It's cool. Yeah. It only took 13 episodes.
Only took 13 episodes.
It's cool that they're all back, and I'm interested to see if who gets kind of tied into the plot more and who doesn't. So
because almost everybody seems to be kind of on their own path right now.
Yeah.
Only Hawk and Truman are really tied to the main storyline.
Yeah.
And maybe Ben Horn if the Richard stuff ties into the main storyline, you don't really know. So not many people are really connected to the main story, but you never know. We still have more episodes, so...
The thing is, there's only 5 more episodes, though. So it's going to be really interesting to see, how much happens in these to kind of finish off these storylines.
And then so much happens in one episode that anything can happen.
Exactly. So I'm not doubting it. I'm just very intrigued, and I can't wait to see the rest of them.
Me too.
So until episode 14,
we
will see you guys later.